Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on Toned In Entertainment, where we love pop culture. Today, it's time for another comic book review as we have a new series to look at by Image Comics. Now, is this issue worth a glowing review, or should it just be left out in the wasteland? Well, let's get on with my comic book review of Geiger Issue number 1. The story in Geiger is going to take place in what I interpret as the year 2050, because we see a calendar that says the year 2030, and the story is going to pick up 20 years later after the unknown war in the city of what once was the peaceful city of Boulder City, Nevada. And while 20 years it still might be considered peaceful, it's for an entirely different reason, as the real estate market has gone from homes to a giant crater. And also worth mentioning is that this area is inhabitable unless you're walking around in a radiation suit, or unless you're known as the man that goes by the many names from Joe Glow to the man of mass destruction, the walking bomb, or as he was known to his family, Tariq Geiger. We will be filled in on some backstory of what Geiger's life was just as the bomb fell, as he was a man that put his family first, so much so that it was him protecting him from the people trying to take over his family's bunker that led him to be exposed to the radiation in the first place. In present day, it appears that supplies in the main cities are running short as scavengers come into Boulder to see if they can scrounge up any food, even if it's canned beans. But for these bandits, that's when they're gonna find out that the glowing man is more than just an urban legend. Now, even though it's been 20 years, it appears that Geiger truly was prepared for doomsday, as it seems like at least one of his children is still alive inside the bunker but cannot come out due to the radiation. Now, while we do learn that there are other groups of people out there, like the night crawlers or the organ people that we have yet to be introduced to, we do meet the king, who resides in Las Vegas, as he has a group of people that serve him that are called the Nuclear Knights. And for this young king, he's ready to step out of his father's shadow to seek out Geiger, as he plans to make a trophy out of him, as this is not only his chance for vindication, but for glory. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm giving issue number 1 of Geiger an 8 out of 10. Issue number 1 of Geiger was written by Jeff Johns, and he wastes no time thrusting us into the nuclear wasteland, where even 20 years later, humanity is still left dealing with the fallout. And while issue number 1 is a solid introduction to the character Tariq Geiger, by the looks of the map in Las Vegas, it looks like the deck is stacked with unique and interesting characters we have yet to meet. Now, issue number 2 of Geiger is set to be released on May 12th, and I'm willing to spin the wheel and go all in that the adventure in Geiger is only going to get wilder, crazier, and better moving forward. Now, while I did enjoy the main issue, I also enjoyed that the creators put a little bonus at the end of this issue, as we get to see a comic strip of Junkyard Joe, which is a comic that was inside Geiger's house. Alright guys, well, that's going to wrap up this comic book review for Geiger issue number 1. Now, if you read this issue, what are your thoughts? Comment down below. I thought this was a really good kicking off point for a new series, plus I'm really excited to see what happens in issue number 2, because we're going to Vegas. Who doesn't love Vegas? And I have a feeling what happens in Vegas isn't necessarily going to stay in Vegas. Now, this week here on Toned In Entertainment, we have more comic book reviews coming with Avengers Mech Strike issue number 3. We have a new issue of Buffy, plus another new series to look at by Image Comics with the Silver Coin. So guys, if you like comic book reviews like this and all things pop culture, stay tuned in here to Toned In Entertainment for future videos.
Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now.